I often do this for the first time with students using a color triad, meaning a yellow, a red, and a blue, and then letting them overlap to get your neutrals. Sometimes it comes out bright, so you're not gonna have total control over this. Maybe I will use yellow. This is Gamboge Nova. I think I'll put some raw sienna in there with it. So you want to get quite a lot of paint, because a lot of times what will happen is you'll be too transparent and it'll be not a lot of paint on there. I think I am going to use, I think I'm going to use some Scarlet Lake this time. Actually, I'm going to use some of my marine blue, which is like a phthalo. And so I just scoop up some water from here. You can also dip your cup in there. Just don't fill it up with water, because then it's going to be too wimpy. And this is going to get wet because we're going to wet it first also. And if you want it to be dark, then make enough of this color. So my idea is that this is going to overlap that and be a little more neutral. Hopefully. I might add a little Payne's Gray, because I don't want it to be real bright. That's my choice, because I don't want to take too much away from the flower. All right, I'm going to throw in a little bit of Payne's Gray. Now, oops, I'm going to take my flat wash brush, grab a couple of paper towels before you start, so it is a little tricky.
I put the plastic down.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll want the plastic today for sure. So now be prepared to want to pick up your board a bit. So you can do this. I know yours might be a little harder because it's big, but then I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to wet. And I know my water is dirty, but I don't think that's going to make much difference here. So you want to, and before you do this, now's the time where you want to make sure your edges are pressed down, because now is where you don't want the paint to go under. And you can look to the side and see if there are any spots that are not shiny, where the water has not quite engaged with the paper enough. And then go back up to the top, make sure it's still wet, because if you're not real wet, where you started, it will start to dry. I am going to just pour a little of this. And so I'm going to manipulate it. It's going to be, you control where it goes. Set that aside. And I want it to be a little asymmetric. You could also do like a Scarlet Lake and a blue or a Payne's Gray to make a mauvey kind of color. I'm hoping to get a little bit of mauve out of this by the time I'm finished. So this is the fun part. You're not going to have complete control. And sometimes you will want to take your brush, where did I put, and coax it. I want this to jump over here a little, so I'll coax it over there. And you can sop up around the edges as it's falling away. Oops, see, this is dry already. So I'm going to have to coax it. So now that red is going to blend with the blue. I'll probably lose a lot of the red, which was my intention. But since that dried, I'm going to coax that along there. It reminds me a little bit of a lava lamp, except thinner. So you have less control. If you want to get it to go to the top, then you're going to and decide where you want more dark. You could overlap all these colors. You can keep some of the underneath colors, so it's really up to you. But I kind of had in mind, I wanted it a little bit dark on this one. So there is some of it that's going to be unexpected. So if you try to have too much control, you might be frustrated.